and welcome back to another BobBlast. Hi, I'm Bob Burridge, and this one is all about mediums. Let's take the mystery out of mediums. Heck, when I first started, I had no idea. Now I have to learn something about mediums? Acrylic was hard enough. Well, let me take the mystery out of it and show you. These are some of my latest pieces I'm working on, and they include so many different kinds of mediums. I got the idea, maybe I should let people know what's going on here. Well, there's a lot of collage work in here with different kinds of glues, different kind of mediums, and some of the thinning down of the regular paints, normal paint right out of the tube. You want to extend the life of working, and the transparency of the paint comes out opaque, dries quickly, but you want to make it dry longer, working time, that kind of thing. So that's what these were created by and with. Here are some gold gessos and also acrylic paints and more gel mediums, and also pumice is in here too, and also modeling paste is in here. Yeah, I got all this great stuff in here. It's great fun. So it's painting and beyond. So let me show you some of the paints and the mediums that I use. Now, remember, a medium is something you add to wet paint. So when it dries, it does something completely different than normal. So here, though, we have a retarder. There's the retarder. You add it to your wet paint while you're painting. And so that just gives you a little bit more working time. If you did not use this in your paint, say, for instance, you were painting in the desert, 15 minutes, it's going to dry in 15 minutes. But when you add a retarder to it, look, after 15 minutes, I could still move it around. After 60 minutes, a little less. 90 minutes, and look, I had 3 hours of working time. Here I am in the desert doing plein air painting. I wanted more working time, like in oil, but this is acrylic paint. Add this to your acrylic paint, just a few drops, and voila, have longer working time. Well, that's also called a medium. Let me show you the ones that I'm working on right now. Here is what is called modeling pumice. Just like you think, pumice is really thick and very sandy. Comes in these cool bags too. Aren't they just pretty neat? And they hold plenty of them, and when it dries, it's really, really stiff, hard, and sandy. So if you're looking for that look, that textured look in your paintings, this is what you add to your paints. Over here we have a modeling paste. Now, of course, look at all the texture you can also get, but not as much. It's a little softer. It's wonderful if you want to make your acrylic paints not look so flowing. You add a little bit of this to this, and now you can do it with a palette knife and moving things around. So a lot of us painters love that slight, small texture. It's just fantastic. The next one is, well, it's even lighter modeling paste. Maybe we don't want it to be so textural, so to speak, and just a little slightly, almost showing, revealing the brush strokes and exaggerating the brush strokes in a painting. So again, that just makes your paint just a little bit thicker. All right, that's modeling paste. There you go, in light. Now this one is way too cool. It's crystal gel medium. And just like the name says, gel medium, crystal. So because of the lighting in here, you can't really see how thick this is. It looks like frozen ice. And the way I look at it, frozen ice. So if you want that super high gloss finish, we're talking high and thick, it flows really slowly, but it's beautiful and it's crystal clear. And again, it's a gel medium. Now let me show you 4 more that I like to play with. Now on this one, the gel medium, it dries matte. So I put a line right down the middle so you can tell one side has the gel medium, the other side does not. And you can't tell the difference. But with the gel medium, all I've done was give the body of my paint just a little bit more body, more playfulness too. And so I highly recommend just a regular gel medium. Besides, it's one of my favorite glues. one of my favorite things to glue paper in my collages. So that generally is what I use. Just a gel medium. It doesn't matter if it's shiny or matte. I prefer the matte for this reason. It doesn't draw attention to itself. There's your gel medium matte. And that, as I say, is my favorite glue to use. All right, the next one, gel medium. I like the matte of this gel medium, but it has a little bit of body. And this is really good if you're gluing thick pieces of paper in your collages, okay? And maybe something a little bit thicker than just paper. But this is a fabulous product to use as a glue, again, and has a little bit of texture at the same time. So I can glue napkins, paper towels, that kind of a thing. And well, I think you should get a little bit of almost every medium and just try each one, and you'll see one that will work really well. And especially just taking a painting medium, as I said earlier, it's a great way to have extended drying time, more working time, more play time, so the paint doesn't dry so fast or as predictable. So a painting medium is really something you add to paint to extend the paint if you want the paint to go further, especially if you're thinking of economics here and your paint costs, right? So if you want your paint to go a little bit further with really good paint, by the way, as you can tell, these are Holbein paints that I've been using, and they have a lot of pigment in them. They're full-bodied, so I can really thin them down, and they still have the same punch. That's what's beautiful about a professional paint. All right. Now, not only that little cute little bottle and those little bags, look over here, the gel medium, I use it all the time. It comes in these larger bags. Fantastic, right? So you can tell I use a lot of it. And here you see a slight sheen to it, but then that's not the final coat anyway. Now, let me show you a wonderful slight surprise you may not know about. So the cool thing about all these wonderful mediums in those bags, so does the gesso come in these bags? How cool is this? They come in big bags larger than this. That's white gesso. But look at this. They come in like 22 different colors of gesso. Anyway, can you imagine? Gold gesso, silver gesso, carmine gesso, all over the canvas, the paper. It's a great way to paint. You get a lot of paint. I call it a bag of paint. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this. We've taken the mystery out of mediums, I hope. And now you know how I use them. Try a little bit of everything you see. Just buy the smallest and make yourself a little chart. I always make a studio chart. And what is this stuff used for? You know, that really cool stuff you say, I don't know what it is, but I gotta have some. So buy some, get a small jar of it, whatever you can, and use it. So use it up, and then you decide if you want to get a bigger jar. Anyway, that's how I taught myself all about mediums. I didn't read a book on it. I just went and buy out a little bit of everything I could find. And that's how you learn. I hope you enjoyed this BobBlast. Show your friends, invite your friends, share all this with your friends. And I'll see you again at the next BobBlast. Take care.